So guys, this is my new house. This is where I live. It's just a yacht. I'm trying to say yard and lot at the same time.
Like yacht?
They have me sleeping outside and the raccoons cuddle next to me. Hey!
We're also learning new details in a gruesome case of two bodies found in a suitcase on Alki Beach in Seattle.
As Seattle police investigating a possible homicide. Again, this is happening at Gasworks Park, where somebody earlier this morning found a body.
A developing story out of Tacoma this morning where police are investigating a homicide. Officers say they found a woman on the ground near the intersection of Pacific Avenue and South 96th Street.
Body believed to be that of missing actress Misty Upham, who played a housekeeper in the movie adaptation of August Osage County, has been found in the Seattle area.
This is on Greenwood Avenue North. This is a few blocks west of Green Lake, and officers telling us there they were called about a body that was found there.
In the Green River Killer investigation, they have identified another one of Gary Ridgway's murder.
In December 1985, detectives uncovered the remains of an African-American woman at the Mount View Cemetery in Auburn. She became known as Bone 16, the 16th murder victim of Green River Killer Gary Ridgway.
I hate your guts, Gary Ridgway, and your day is coming soon. He's a waste of society and a waste of space. If I had one thing to ask you today, it would be kill him.
It looks like I'm wearing a fancy ass robe. Okay, hello everybody. As you can see, we're on location. We are in
Huntington Park.
So obviously this is Fabi. Obviously we are reunited.
Don't put any of that in. That what I just said, because I don't know what I'm saying. I'm trying to learn how to speak again.
Subscriber Scary Stories number 8. Yay!
Yay!
Do I have to be in it?
No. Did you sign a contract or something? Why are you wearing sunglasses?
Oh, this is my cuñado. This is our bodyguard, actually.
I'm embarrassed.
He's gonna tell us if a raccoon comes up to us. Hi Monica, my name is Jay. I was born in Puebla, Mexico, but currently live in California. I'm 21 now, but when I was younger, my mom would tell me different paranormal stories. The one that always stood out to me the most was the one about my great-grandpa. So in his house in Mexico, there was a room that no one was allowed to go in. Everyone said that whenever they would walk past that room, it would feel really cold, and they would feel someone watching them. In that room, my grandpa would have different idols that he would pray to. There was also a book that a relative gave him, but no one likes to talk about it. Supposedly, whoever has this book can't die until they pass the book on to another relative. My grandpa is 90 now, and my family is worried about who he's gonna pass it on to next. Love all your videos. Hope to see another one soon. Jay.
So he's gonna pass it on when he knows he's dying?
She said, you can't die unless you give that book to someone else. If that was me, I would just keep it forever.
I would have handed it off a long time ago.
Me too.
Oh my god.
Hi, my name is Jasmine. I love watching your videos, and I just wanted to tell you some scary stories from my childhood. The first story I have is actually from my mom and sister. See, the house I live in used to be owned by an elderly couple, and my mom said that the old man used to hit it. No, that wasn't funny. I was just thinking about the end of this. That's not funny. Hold on, I have to restate that again.
Try not to laugh because you're laughing.
And my mom said that the old man used to hit his wife. Just a little backstory. So that's all we know. But one day, my mom was washing dishes and listening to music. She felt as if something was watching her. So she stopped washing the dishes and went to lower down the music. When she went back to finish washing the dishes, she felt that feeling again as if something was staring at her. See, my sister's room, which is now my room, was next to the living room. And the living room was very close to the kitchen. So if you were to turn your head to the right, you could easily see my door. So my mom said she turned her head slowly and saw a man, a very dark and tall man. She described him wearing a cowboy hat and a mask and big cowboy boots, a chain on his pants, or like Zorro. She had also said she saw the man go back to my room and walk straight into my closet when she said, Madre Purísima. My mom later told my older sister Nancy when she got home, and my sisters began to tell my mom she had seen that same thing in her room, but that it was night when she saw him. And my other sister Jenny was sleeping, and I guess my older sister was awakened by something almost as a whisper, and saw him also in the closet looking at her, but she was in shock. And so she tried waking up my sister, but Jenny was asleep. The figure later just disappeared, as she said. The next story I'm about to tell you is what I've heard about from my mom. I guess a lot of cousins who had spent the night said that the big D word had pushed them off the couch and told them,
That's coming for you. That's how I imagined it in my head.
Another creepy thing is that I had a cousin who was a priest, and I guess he had gotten in a very bad argument with one of our other cousins, and I guess he was gonna kill him, and he went down to the chickens, and we live in Washington, so there are a lot of trees, and I guess he saw a man hanging on a tree. Terrified, he went back to apologize to my cousin.
I'm trying to... Is there any men here?
Bitch! According to an article by Michael Hammerschlag, about 50% of the world's serial killers comes from a 200-mile radius around Seattle. This article was written in 2002, a year after the Green River Killer was caught. So some people theorize that the rain and the gloominess and the lack of sun drive people crazy. But others believe those thirsty for blood, especially before the 21st century, recognized the incompetence of Washington State's police forces when it came to solving murders. Some believe that incompetence was purposeful. After all, Ted Bundy, one of the most infamous serial killers in the world, got away with 8 murders in Washington. At least 8 that we know of, since there were only 30 he admitted to, while people think he actually had at least 100 victims. And then there's Robert Yates, who got away with 11 murders before he was caught. Now, to be fair, DNA testing for criminal cases wasn't introduced until 1986. There's also the Green River Killer, Gary Ridgway, who murdered at least 49 women in Washington before he was caught. His victims were young, runaway women and prostitutes whose bodies he dumped in the forest around the Green River. And it is entirely possible, since his victims did include sex workers, their lives were seen as less valuable. Therefore, there was less urgency for justice. This is unfortunately still an issue today, as a disproportionate amount of murders of sex workers remain unsolved. Besides the lack of police efforts before new technology was introduced, a lot of Washington's land is unpopulated, and we've gone over that in previous videos. Large, vacant pieces of land with little to no human traffic make it the perfect place to dump bodies. That sounds like that one story that my mom's aunt said, or my mom's cousin said. You know that one lady that like is a psychic?
Yeah.
She said that one time that I guess she was arguing with her son or something, or he was arguing with somebody, and he like left all angry and like slammed the door, and he encountered like a man. She said it was like the big D word.
And what happened?
I guess he ran back, but when he ran back to the house, he kept like slamming, like knocking really hard on the doors, but no one could hear him inside. This one is from Camila Cabello. Hello.
Do you know who that is?
Isn't that your cousin?
Yeah, she's with our cousin Sean Mendes.
Juanito. Wait, what? Our cousin is with our cousin? Yeah. I was about to say, Ohana Unana. What is that song that you sing? It's not that funny. Hello, my name is Camila, and I wanted to share my mom's experience with a witch. When my mom was around 10 years old, she still lived in Mexico in a big house, which almost all of her siblings had some scary experiences in. There was this one day my mom had woken up to the voice of my grandpa yelling for someone to bring him a cup of milk in the middle of the night. She heard his voice. Do that again.
Dame leche.
Okay, one more time.
Dame leche.
Again.
Why? Why do you want me to say it again?
She heard his voice but didn't think anything of it, since her older sister would always do my grandpa the favor. After 3 minutes, she still heard him yell out, so she got up in frustration to get him the cup of milk, since her older sister didn't hear my grandpa.
That's something you would do as a grandpa.
Is that supposed to be scary? Just give him some milk already.
Why wouldn't you bring it to him?
Oh my God. When she was walking through the hallway, she remembers feeling such anger towards her father, something she really wasn't used to when she was walking back to give my grandpa the cup of milk. She heard someone call her. She turned immediately, since it was an old woman voice calling her name. When she turned around, she didn't see anything, so she quickly walked to her parents' room since she got scared. She tried to open her parents' bedroom, but to her surprise, it was locked. My grandparents never really locked their doors, so she panicked. She tried to open the door and knock, but they didn't open the door. She got more scared when she saw a black cat arch his back in the middle of the hallway. The weird thing is that they had no cats in the house or any black cats in the neighborhood. She panicked more and started to cry and banged harder on her parents' door. After a few seconds, they opened the door. When they opened the door, my mom said that the black cat had disappeared and turned into a black plastic bag. Her parents were more shocked when she told them that my grandpa was asking for a cup of milk, which to her surprise, he was asleep all along and never called out for a cup of milk. After some days, my mom says that she woke up and she had big marks on her back as if a cat would scratch her. Years passed and nothing nothing else happened to her until she was pregnant with me. She said that she felt someone touch her feet. To this day, when I go to my grandparents' house in Mexico, I still fear my fuck. I still feel some weird presence, and their room always gives me bad vibes. Oh my God.
Do a lot of ghosts have like a foot fetish? Why do they always touch
For
people's
real.
feet?
Hello, my name's Liliana, but you can call me Lily. I'm the one always on your ass in the comments to upload more. I know on my mother's side of the family there's history of empaths. I personally feel like everyone has it in them, but I think we are more susceptible to things when we are in a more calm or concentrated state. So I remember one day when I was a little girl, my family lived in a small house in Stockton, California, where I was born. My sisters were at school and it was just my mom, dad, and I in the living room. It was midday, probs like around 2 p.m. or so. We were all just chilling, and I don't remember exactly how old I was, but I was in the diaper stage. So yeah, we just chilling in the house watching a movie. The blinds are open and it's a bright day that the sky is enough to light up the whole room, no need for any lights. So the living room has a big open doorway that looks through into the dining room, and the front door is on the right side. Then on your left is the long ass hallway which goes straight down to the master bedroom. And to the left of the master was another bedroom, and across from that bedroom was a bathroom. I know it's a lot, but all you really need to remember is the living room and hallway.
What did she say?
I don't know. Oh, I almost forgot. As you go down the hallway to the right is a kitchen, and you go more down. And you go more down and hit the master bedroom. Okay, so now that we have that settled, hopefully, back to the three of us chilling watching a movie in the living room. And I decided to take a shit. And so when my mom realized this, she tells me to go get a diaper from her room so she can change me. I understood and proceeded to walk to her room. Keep in mind, while the living room is full of light, the hallway is dark, so I'm walking down the hallway and I get to my parents' room. I go in, I'm looking for a diaper, and I hear someone call my name. Thinking it's my mom, I try to hurry up and find my diaper, throwing shit around, and as soon as I'm about to give up, I take a step back and step on something. My diaper. Right where I had just walked and saw there was nothing there. Suddenly, a diaper appears on the floor behind my feet. Anyways, I was like, finally, damn. So I pick it up and start walking out. I probably took like 4 or 5 steps out of the room, and I just hear. I was so confused. So I turn around to where I heard it from, and I kid you the f**king not. There's an old lady floating in front of my parents' room, and that sound was their door slamming shut. So I'm standing there staring at this old lady right in front of me, and she looks at me, and dude, when we made eye contact, I feel like I went paralyzed. I remember trying to scream, and I couldn't even blink. She starts moving forward, and bro, when I tell you she was floating, she had feet and shoes on, but she was not taking steps. Nah, I don't know if she was lazy or just trying to show off. And then she puts her hands out like if she's trying to reach for me, and she starts smiling. FYI, it's not an evil smile or anything, and she didn't look mean, but what the f***? There's an old lady floating in the air towards me. I don't give a f*** if she's trying to give me a stack of hundreds or some apple juice in my favorite sippy cup. I finally walk backwards enough down the hallway. I become in view to my parents, who are in the living room, and when they see me, they instantly run over. And dude, right as they're doing that, the old lady stops, puts her hands down, keeps smiling, and starts floating upwards towards what I can only describe now as a bright light. So my parents come to me. I'm nearly frozen. Couldn't even cry how scared I was. And they start asking me like, what the f***? What's wrong? What happened? Are you okay? What did you see? And I finally told them what I saw. And my mom is all asking me, where did I see it? And I told her in front of her room. And she tried taking me over there to show her exactly where. So yeah, blah blah blah. Fast forward to later that day. Some family friends come over and they were explaining to them what had happened earlier. And that when I heard my mom say she saw Grandma Mary, I had no idea who Mary was. But my mom and dad go on to explain that Mary was my mom's grandma. And she died a couple months before I was born. But the thing was, she had died in her sleep on a couch in our living room. Now, of course, her friends asked her, like, girl, how do you know who she saw or what she saw? They were reasonably skeptical, and so my mom asked me right there, tell us what you saw. So I go on to describe this old lady with a poofy updo and blonde silvery white hair with a striped shirt and black skirt. And I probably said some other details that I don't remember at the moment, but I described this lady exactly how I saw her, and that's what I told them. Then my mom and dad look at each other, and my mom says she just described my Grandma Mary exactly what she was wearing, the colors, her hair and makeup on the day that she died here. I never saw her again after that. But yeah, I feel like that led to me starting to notice a lot of weird shit around me. And that specific house has an interesting history as well. It was originally a 2-story house, but the man who built it burned it down supposedly with his wife and kids inside. And I'm not sure if he was inside or he caged himself, but man's got issues. And you can go to the backyard and I swear you just feel like a negative energy, like if someone is watching you, but always from behind, no matter which way you turned. I got so scared one day, I climbed to the top of my swing set and waited for my mom to get me down because I was hearing a man laughing in her shed. And this laugh was no ordinary laugh. It sounded really low and soft at first, almost like a woman crying. And then it would just aggressively change into a guttural, raspy laugh like of an old man.
That's pretty good.
But it was never different. It was always the same sound. So I really climbed to the top of the swing set. It was the highest thing I knew, and I was screaming until one of the neighbors called my mom and she came and saved me. I got in trouble for screaming and being all the way at the top of my swing, but I didn't care. Let me sit in the corner inside of my nice warm house with my family. Feel me? Okay, let's go inside before I get hives again.
There you go.
I mean, you were just scared of you, but you're scared of commas. Take that out.
Such a nerd joke.
My name is Emily, and I just want to make this clear. I've never, ever had anything scary or paranormal happen to me ever. It mostly happened to my parents or siblings, and even after I've been doing magic, nothing like this has ever happened. We moved into this old barn-looking house in the suburbs, getting away from the city crime life. When we moved in, I didn't like it all that much, except the upstairs, because we lived in a nasty, run-down, weird apartment in the city for a long-ass time. We move in, get our stuff settled, and I get the big bedroom upstairs with weird-ass slanted walls because it's the attic. I got situated and saw the neighbors and parents talking. I'm hella close with my dad because my parents are on and off, and when he leaves, I never know if he'll be back or not, so I try to spend time with him. And with doing that, I went outside and helped him cut our new grass and fix things up. He said, "Mi hija." Me and the neighbor were talking, and he was telling me an old man with 2 kids, boy and girl, lived here, and the wife died in the house of natural causes, and the daughter was bedridden in your room and died there of whatever she had. Of course, I thought it was a lie because I didn't know of the background, but I remember laying down, getting ready for bed, and I heard tapping and moving in my room. I looked up and saw nothing. I'm a fight type of person, so I think if a ghost is in front of me, I'll try to kick it. I don't know, maybe they aren't air. But I kept hearing little sounds and kept thinking this house is old and has been left here for a long time. Maybe it's just settling down, but no fucking way. I kept having dreams of a girl who wore a nightgown and had blonde hair, and his face was white and had black eye bags, and just looked sick and gross. Always come in my dream and stare at me, and would end up running in my face and screaming. I ignored it, I fell asleep, and never experienced anything again until my parents got divorced for real and my dad left. The neighbors and my mom got hella close, and we went over for a party, and I saw this interesting looking woman who looked like a bruja, and I sat near her. We ended up talking, and she told me she was friends with the woman who died in the house, and how she was a witch, and the girl has taken a liking to me after trying to get me to leave, but watching me for years, living in there, being carefree in my room, crying, laughing, the music, watching me and my dad bond like how her and her dad used to. I reminded her of herself and her dad. She even said something about my art. She said she loves when you paint on the walls and the line art bodies of the women. Now listen, I didn't tell this woman I love to paint, even painted on my walls, and I was creeped out. I don't see the girl or feel her, but I hope she's good. She doesn't cause harm or bother anyone, and I play music a lot more, and it feels nice if I talk to myself. There could possibly be someone listening. Maybe if we, at the house, if we do hobbies that somebody from, the 50s would like? Be racist. We could get the ghost to like us.
I wanted to get scared.
You wanted to get scared?
Yeah, it was like a...
It was a sweet story. We were trying to end on a good note. Let me find a really scary story.
Oh, I thought you were gonna get scared.
I got scared.
Was it good enough?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to shout out anything? They're starting a vlog channel. I'll let you guys know.
What?
Okay. They're posting every Wednesday and Saturday.
Stop. Just stop.
Doesn't it smell weird?
Thank you guys for watching, as always. I have a little bit of an announcement. but I'll make a bigger announcement about it in like a week or two. But me and my sisters are starting a podcast, and we need your help. We want to know all your business. We want to know all your chisme. We want to know your family secrets, who's in jail and why. We want to know about your aunt's roommate. Tell us like the craziest chisme, the craziest family stories that you have. Doesn't even have to be family stories. Could be about somebody you heard down the street, one of your neighbors who's a weirdo who got arrested one day and they took all his computers. That good chisme that you'll never forget for the rest of your life. Okay, so I'll put a link down to the Instagram as well, so you guys can follow that and get any updates on it. Thank you guys for all the support. I know it took a long ass time, but there's a lot going on. Also, I do stream on Twitch usually after I upload, so I'll put a link down below. I'll be playing Among Us pretty soon with some of the crew. Last time we played with Lupita and Mateo and Nelly.
Lupita!
Wow, I'm so confused.
Oh my god, I'm gonna hang up.
Wait, she didn't want to lose, so she's faking a bad connection.
I know. She's been so annoying. Lupita, you done? Oh my god.
Nelly, shut up! But I was playing with a bunch of subscribers as well, and it was really fun. My room's messy. I'm cleaning right now because my grandma's coming tonight, which is why I can't stream tonight. It's all clean close. My pillow needs a cover. I always say shit like that, like, oh, don't mind my dirty room, and you guys never say anything about it.